Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of ClueCon Weekly. My name is Jon Gray, and I'm filling in for Luca today as he's out saving the world. Today, I'm joined by a very special guest. His name is Brian West. Brian, I'll let you introduce yourself really quick as we
Hi.
begin this episode.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having me today. My name is Brian West. I am Director of Support Engineering and Head of Developer Experience at SignalWire. So it's my job to not only help in the support aspect of what we do in the organization, but also ensure that our developers have a smooth transition to using our technology. It's a rather new position I have, so I have my work cut out for me to make sure that everybody is able to use our technology with ease. So if anybody has any feedback, by all means, send it to me. I take all the feedback and critiques. It's going to be an awesome journey for us to make sure our technology is easy for people to use and able to understand it with ease.
Definitely. Yeah, that developer experience role is pretty big. I already noticed you wearing a lot of hats as it's kind of come about, all the different roadblockers and things that you've been able to notice so far. So we're definitely pioneering, championing, and getting through those. I also want to add an exceptional mentor. So for those of you who don't know Brian or Brian actually hired me about 3 years ago. We were in a room similar to this one and kind of talking about where we were before as well as where we're headed to in the future is definitely going to be a theme of this talk as we rope into the AI landscape and kind of the different changes in both telecom as well as business implementations and SignalWire's influence within the whole thing. So getting off with kind of just a general intro to the topic. AI seems like the hottest thing since sliced bread. Everyone is talking about it, and even their mothers. So, what has SignalWire kind of done, and what is your place within all of it? What have your experiences kind of been, and what trajectory do you foresee this going into?
Well, if you notice, we'll probably link it in the description below. We have launched an
Hmm.
AI agent here at SignalWire. It allows you to hook up an agent to your telephone. You could either create a virtual assistant. You could create somebody a receptionist. For example, right now, our AI agent is answering the phone here at SignalWire. So if you call 650-382-0000, you can talk to Sia. She is our SignalWire integrated assistant, which is where we got the name Sia from. Her job is to quantify and classify the caller. She knows a subset of people she can transfer to. She knows how to get you to carrier, how to get you to support, and how to get you to sales. She knows all of these things, and she can answer basic questions about SignalWire. For example, if you call her and ask her, "How do I sign up for SignalWire?" She'll do. She also offers to text you a link for the sign up page as well, and she can do all of those things. And it's completely with no human interaction. In addition, I've been working on a personal assistant profile or even my own phone number. His name is Ethan. He answers my cell phone. He classifies and quantifies the caller. Why are you calling? Who are you? And he has a list of people that are VIP that like he never asks any more questions from. We'll just transfer
Hmm.
them on through to my cell phone. Uh, but he'll ask like what company you're from, what's the purpose of your call, and then he sends me a text message before he forwards the call to my cell phone. So I receive a text message about the same time. I'm going to be working on this to make it better. But these are just some basic functionalities that we're using with our AI agent right now. And we'll be doing a demo of one I've put together as well for a real world example here in a moment. Uh, but it allows you to take, if you can quantify a run list of things you want your agent to be able to do and how you want it to behave and the personality you want it to have, we can make that almost a no code solution for most people. You just use plain English to tell it what you want it to do and how you want it to act, and off it goes.
Yeah, it sounds like it does a lot. You mentioned a lot of answering questions, transferring, both knowledge based, getting questions as well as, actually telecom actions, transferring calls, sending text messages and kind of the likes. What was that process kind of like for you? How long did that kind of take? Was there any, hesitance between offloading, the entire SignalWire phone number to a machine or what was that kind of like both from a technical rollout as well as kind of an acceptance of where we're heading to.
Okay, so on one hand, you have everybody going, "Oh, it's too soon to do it. It's not a well fleshed out technology." On the other hand, I'm thinking, "Yes, it is. We're going to do it anyway, and we're going to learn and grow as we go." And that's what we've
Hmm.
done. We actually have our AI agent. She answers the phone, and every time she answers the phone, she says, "Thanks for calling. This is call's going to be recorded for calling training service. My name's Sia. How can I help you today?" And it sounds. We use 11 Labs voices on ours that is answering for SignalWire today. So it sounds very realistic. A lot of the callers don't even know they're talking to a robot at that point. Um, so we decided up front that I was just going to throw it in there. We're going to dog food what we're doing. And in the process, I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot of the like edge cases and things that I need to tweak and do and change. For example, yesterday I had somebody call and ask about an agent. Well, I hadn't really told her what to do when somebody asks for an agent. She knows what to do when you ask for support or sales or pricing questions and things like that.
Hmm.
Yesterday evening, I changed her prompt slightly. If you ask for an agent, she'll tell you a James Bond joke and then transfer you to support. So that we put some whimsical components in there.
Nice.
Um,
Yeah.
and I want to actually change it a little bit and have her be a little more jokey and whimsical as well. And I'm not quite there yet, but I want to have a little fun with it because I think that drops, your guard a little if what you're talking to is an AI agent. And one, the AI agent identifies itself as an AI agent, which one of the demos I'm fixing to do does that right off the bat. Uh, that's feedback I got from multiple people where don't try to trick people maybe is probably something you don't want to do. Don't make
Hmm.
people, because we've all talked to automated attendants, AT&T, DirecTV, all of these, and somebody in the background could cough or yell, and the next thing you know, it's interrupted, and in your you had to start over with what you're doing. Our AI agent is not that way. You can actually cough and clear your throat, and those normal things that happen in a conversation between you and a human don't interrupt it. It requires actual speech for it to barge and interrupt the AI to say a word. So it really helps be more like a human than a computer you're talking to. And I kind of approached it in a weird way in the beginning, where I was always treating it as a computer. But once I changed my mindset and shifted gears into it's a human or it's a robot that I've told to be like a human, it seemed to things just fell into place a lot easier. My interactions were a lot easier. And I think a lot of us in this environment kind of went through that, like in the early days of speech recognition on the phone. We talked to it like it was a child, and that never works right. You talk to it like a natural human would talk to another human, and you get way better results. And that's similar to our AI agent. It's more human like and fluid in that interaction between you and what it's trying to accomplish on the other end of the phone.
Hmm. Yeah, you brought up 2 points that I definitely want to elaborate more on. And the first one is just people accepting that they're kind of talking to machines. Before we have these IVRs that are very one dimensional. Say yes, press one. Who would you like to transfer to? But we're definitely getting to a point where we can have actual conversations with these things. And a lot of people don't like to be tricked or fooled. And by the time that they realize it's an agent, then they've thrown everything out the window and now they're upset and disgruntled, and they don't want
Right.
to communicate anymore no matter who it is that they're talking to.
They want
And
to get to an agent. I want to talk to a human right now.
yeah.
And it's definitely
And,
like that's the reason, like in the demo we're gonna do here in a little bit. I've put together a demo of an answering service for an HVAC company that asks specific questions, qualifies the customer, and recommends actions based on those that interaction with the AI. Um, it stays on point pretty good. And I'm going to do a couple of things in this demo that are going to be hilarious, just to
mhm,
demonstrate like how uh, it adapts and can stay on point, and still perform the task, even if me, the caller, is giving it stuff that isn't right for the input.
yeah.
So we'll definitely do one of those. But like John hinted on, uh, don't fool people. I think that's the number one thing. I think if
Hmm.
you out of the gate say it's an AI, I think the expectation and interaction will be a little bit better. But I think our offering is very unique in how it interacts and how it's coded. It's not really code; it's just plain English to tell it what to do.
Hmm.
And we're going to be doing a blog. I'm working with Danny right now on the blog on this HVAC example we have that I'm going to show you guys today. But it is definitely one that I'm going to work with Danny, and we're going to have a blog on. We have a couple other blogs planned. So if you haven't had a chance, go to our website, signalwire.com, go to blogs, make sure you put that in your bookmarks. Keep following up and looking at that, and make sure to just like and subscribe this channel so that you can keep these types of videos coming into your feed. We'll have a lot more news and technology related to AI and our AI agents as we progress through this. I would like to get more people involved in interacting with me. I have multiple people already within the community working with me on projects that they're doing with our AI agent. I want more people engaged in this. That helps us ensure, one, we've covered all of our bases, which I think we have. There's only a few edge and corner cases I think that we need to work on. And most of that is just minor at this point. It's just a tweak here and there, and we'll get that Mona Lisa put on the wall, so to speak.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, there's thousands, millions, billions of things that you could potentially do with these networks, and being able to harness all that information, all that power into something that's actually practical is definitely a challenge and a struggle. And you mentioned, iterating SIA, the SignalWire integrated assistant, or
Yes.
um, for SignalWire. So, and you also mentioned that when you change from talking to a machine, viewing the project as how do I code this as a machine, to prompting it like a human and talking to it like it is a person. There
Yes.
anything else that you kind of noticed along the line that might help people with getting off the ground and started? I mentioned a lot of the different blogs and the different content out there, but how do you recommend that a business really starts taking this, running with it, and how they can find some good use out of this rather than just being a standalone,
I think,
conversation?
well, I think it's one thing that you can bolt onto your existing infrastructure. I think approach it as an augmentation of your
Hmm.
existing technology. Don't look at it as a rip and replace, because we know a lot of people are not in the position to do a complete rip and replace of technology. But you could augment your existing capabilities with something like this, like front end your main number for your business, and add a little bit more intelligence and uh, decisiveness to how those are handled. That way you can get your toe wet. I recommend, if you don't have anything right now, I recommend you dive into the deep end of the pool. Let's just put it in and run with it and see what we get.
Hmm.
That's what I recommend people that have like a greenfield area to run with. Even if you're just doing it in your lab, dive in the deep end. Let's just go figure out what it's capable of. Let's figure out where this Lego brick fits within your existing infrastructure. There could be areas of, like, say, answering the phone and tracking product orders, product shipments, things like that, where you can code this in such a way where um, it could look up this information and inform the caller without ever talking to a human. There's capabilities here that we still have not documented. I'm working with Renee on our docs team. We're getting these things out there. If you get a chance, go to developer.signalwire.com, click SDKs at the top, and you'll see Swimmel, which is the SignalWire markup language. You'll see Swimmel, and you'll see AI. AI is a subset of the Swimmel technology that we have, which is the SignalWire markup language. It's all in JSON. It can be in YAML. I recommend everybody going there, looking at that, and dive in. Let us know if we need to help. You can get us on our Discord or our Slack. We'll put those in the description below. You can join in, ask questions. Me and my team, everybody in the support department is well versed in the AI component that we have. We helped with the release as it rolled out. Everybody helped test it. Everybody helped vet the documentation. So everybody's pretty much knows what's going on with it. So if
Hmm.
there's some edge case, they'll bring it to me, and I'll go to Tony, and we'll figure out where we're at with that one and go from there.
Yeah,
So
yep,
go ahead.
yep. Sorry. No, I was
Go
just
ahead.
going to say my experiences with some have been fantastic. SignalWire's had other markup languages in the past, backed by REST APIs and such. But really the difference and the significance of Swiml is that everything is backed by WebSockets, as well as we have a lot more interactivity with other functions and really communicating with our own application. I don't know if you'll be touching a little bit on some Swag functions and SignalWire's AI gateway, but I think that's really the differentiator between what we have versus what some of the other competitors or just a standalone products might be with using conversational AI.
Well, you can look at our Swag functions or SignalWire AI gateway functions as tools. You're giving the AI a tool to do something. For example, when you call into SignalWire, Sia has a tool for transferring the call, and she knows how to use that tool and what arguments to pass to that tool to get it to do what she wants. And that's all plain language. There's not a lot of magic there. Uh,
Hmm.
the AI understands it can transfer and it needs to say, I'm transferring to Brian, and it passes Brian, BRIAN, to the function. And then that function translates Brian into where it needs to go. So the AI never has your phone number or anything. It just knows I'm transferring this call to Brian. And then Brian in the swag function is transferred and Swimmel's returned, and it executes that, and off it goes to connect the caller to me.
Hmm.
Those are very simple things, and every swag function is very similar. A definition of what it does and what it's for, and what arguments it needs to pass. And for the most part, there's a few edge cases, but for the most part, the AI always will call it the correct way. If it has something inconsistent, it's up to your swag function to handle that inconsistency and respond appropriately. Like for example, if it called to track a package, like order lookup, and it didn't pass all the functions, you could return saying, "Oh, I need more information," and it would do it again and ask that information. Uh,
Hmm.
there's some edge cases and a lot of unknowns, especially depending on your use case of what you want it to do.
Definitely. Yeah, there's a lot to harness. It knows a lot, but at the same time, it doesn't know everything. You try to ask an AI agent what the time is or who's playing a basketball game tonight, and you say,
Well,
as an AI language model,
right.
I don't
Well,
know, up to
there's
date with current events.
there's one component you mentioned there about time. Our AI agent does know the time, right?
Hmm.
So it knows. For example, Sia will say, "Good morning, thanks for calling SignalWire," or "Good afternoon, thanks for calling SignalWire," "Good evening, thanks." And all of that is just in the prompt. I told her use the appropriate prefix based on the time of day, and she does that automatically. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a short demo here. This is about a 4 to 5 minute interaction that we're going to do with an AI. Uh, and as it gets a little warmer in the world, we all love our air conditioning, correct? We want to stay
Definitely.
cool. And
I'm
if
with
you
you.
have problems with your air conditioner, some of these HVAC people are probably pretty busy and can't answer the phone. So we're going to do a short demo of an HVAC here. It's an
Let's go
HVAC
for it.
answering service. So let's get it started. I got it up here to the phone.
I thank you for calling H&P Heating and Air Conditioning. I am Rachel, an AI agent. How may I assist you today?
My air conditioner is not blowing cold air.
I'm sorry to hear that your air conditioner is not blowing cold air. I'll be happy to assist you. To better understand the issue, could you please provide me with the service address, including the city?
It is 1445 Northwood Avenue, Itasca, Illinois.
Thank you for providing the service address. Just to confirm, the address is 1445 Northwood Avenue, Itasca, Illinois. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Thank you for confirming the address. Now, are you a current customer of H&P Heating and Air Conditioning?
Yes, I am.
Thank you for being a valued customer of H&P Heating and Air Conditioning. Are you the property owner or a tenant?
Purple.
I apologize for any confusion, but I'm unable to assist with the color of your property. To better assist you, could you please let me know if you are the property owner or a tenant?
I'm the property owner.
Thank you for confirming that you are the property owner. May I have your name and contact number for scheduling purposes?
Willy Wonka, and the phone number is 630-773-2090.
Thank you, Mr. Wonka, for providing your name and contact number. Now let's move on to gather some information about your HVAC system. Is your HVAC system for a residential, commercial, or industrial property?
Industrial.
Thank you for letting me know that your HVAC system is for an industrial property. Have there been any previous repairs or services performed on the unit?
Just the annual maintenance by the Oompa Loompas.
Thank you for letting me know that the annual maintenance on your HVAC system has been performed by the Oompa Loompas. Could you please provide me with the make and model of your HVAC unit?
It's a GE.
Thank you for providing the make of your HVAC unit. Could you also let me know the model of your GE HVAC unit?
I don't have it available.
I understand that you don't have the model of your GE HVAC unit available at the moment. That's all right. Now, do you happen to know the approximate age of your HVAC unit?
15 years?
Thank you for providing the approximate age of your HVAC unit. Is your unit currently under warranty or a maintenance contract?
No, it is not.
Thank you for letting me know that your HVAC unit is not under warranty or a maintenance contract. Finally, is there any additional information or specific details about the issue that could assist our technician?
Yes, the Oompa Loompas revolted and broke it, and now chocolate is melting everywhere.
I'm sorry to hear about the situation with the Oompa Loompas and the melted chocolate. While I can't assist with the Oompa Loompas, I will make sure to include this information in the summary for our technician. Now, let me summarize our conversation. You are Willy Wonka, the property owner of an industrial property located at 1445 Northwood Avenue, Itasca, Illinois. Your GE HVAC unit is approximately 15 years old and is not under warranty or a maintenance contract. The issue with your HVAC unit is that it is not blowing cold air. There has been no previous repair or service performed on it, except for the annual maintenance by the Oompa Loompas. Is everything I've summarized correct?
Yes.
Thank you for confirming the details. Mr. Wonka, based on the information provided, I will dispatch a technician to assess and repair your HVAC unit since it is currently during business hours. A technician will call you back shortly to schedule an appointment. They will discuss the details and arrange a convenient time for the service. Is there anything else I can assist you with?
No, that'll be it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Wonka, if you have any further questions or concerns, don't hesitate to reach out. Have a great day. Goodbye.
Now, there are a couple of things you can see when she asked owner or tenant, and I said purple. She knew that wasn't a right answer. I didn't code that. That was part of the AI doing its job.
Already knowing its thing.
Yeah, and the other thing is when she asked for the make and model, and I only gave the make, I didn't code that follow up. The AI was like, "You didn't give me the model, so I'm going to ask again." Those are all components of the AI doing the fluidity of the AI doing what it needs to do to get the answers to the questions you've outlined.
Yeah, that
It-
was ridiculously impressive.
This could be coded to, at this point, shove all that data into a CRM system and then transfer the caller to an actual agent that would have the data already filled out and be able to schedule the appointment. This is just, like I said, a demo that I've put together to show like its capabilities. And you can try to throw it off course if you, like I say, you answer the questions, it's random. For example, one time she asked for the make. I said Corvette. She goes, "That's not a possible make of an HVAC unit." Again, that was the AI just knowing Corvette is not a make of a
Make
HVAC.
of an yeah. No, it's ridiculous how, she was able to find the different variables and that you needed, what's important for an HVAC system, finding out what is the purpose of this call, if there's a human on it, what are we trying to gather? And then, machines being able to do exactly that, find those exact variables, repeat it back, make sure that they're actually correct. And then, being able to pursue functions after that, for business, rollouts, and actually make use and sense of these phone calls so that we can actually have an augment of, an employee being able to do their job a little bit more efficiently.
Yes, that's exactly right. Takes that task and just makes it easier. Now, I will provide this recording to Chelsea so she can put it up and put it in the comments below so that we have that available. But definitely that is just a short, like that is the simplest example of what our AI agent is capable of. If you're able to build an actual run list or run script, step by step, issue by issue, things it needs to do, it can do that today with very little programming.
Yeah. So a final thought that I wanted to poke your brain about now that we've seen how communicative and how efficient one of these phone systems can really be in a business replacement. How do you feel about the machines overtaking, inevitably and, taking our jobs, replacing our functions? How do you think that relationship is going about and, that kind of theme or fear that a lot of people have when talking about AI and just the topic in general?
I think the fears have been unfounded at this point. The AI it's very similar to your word completion on your keyboard on your iPhone or your Android. Um, it knows a little bit of context. It doesn't have a mind of its own, so to speak.
Hmm.
It just knows based on the context information it has what is the next probable thing to do or say in this situation. So right now, I think we should embrace it. I think it is an augmentation. Like we use it in support to help us diagnose and troubleshoot things. We have an internal SIP analyzer that uses this technology. We just throw in a SIP packet or a SIP trace and then say analyze this as a SIP engineer, and we have a prompt that is a SIP engineering prompt, and it spits back its best guess estimate of what is wrong with this thing, and all in all, it's right almost 100% of the time of what's wrong,
Hmm.
and it is something that allows me as a human to use my time more efficiently because I didn't spend time parsing this zip trace. It did it in 30 seconds. It gave me exactly what the problem was. I go back to the customer. So it does my turnaround for my customer interaction a lot quicker. I think that just gives me a better outcome with our customers, a better like use of my time. Really, I'm
Definitely.
able to use my time better, more efficiently.
Yeah. To do things that people need to do instead of things that machines could possibly do.
It's
I
very
think that's a great way to look at it.
very similar to how we used Google. Like we've all used Google to help us do our jobs. Now
Hmm.
you have another tool in your toolbox, which is AI, that can help you do your job even better and faster. It's a tool. That's what I look at it as, is a tool to allow you to do something more efficiently.
Hmm. Definitely. It knows far too much. So harnessing and being able to make use of all that information. I find that really the issue with AI isn't that it doesn't know something, but quite the opposite, that it knows too much. Kind of similar to, dealing with any support case or support ticket that might come in. If you are just given a glimpse of the problem, you could diagnose it with all your information, but having an actual interaction, being able to understand a lot more clues, and then having some empathy and some sympathy, some emotions, definitely being the last crux of what would make AI really a full blown replacement rather than just a augmented solution.
Well, like I said, you augment your existing infrastructure, your existing processes to take some of the components to a more automated standpoint. It's easier. Uh, like collection, like the HVAC demo, it's going to do that the same way every time, all the time. And if you need to change it, you can change it, and it will take that change immediately. It does just as good as a human does. Even when it messes up, it's still just as good as a human because humans mess up too. So I
Hmm.
think the expectation is, does it do as good as a human or better? And the answer to that question is yes, it does. Even when it
Yeah,
gets it wrong, it's still just as good as a human.
funny way to look at it. I've never really thought about it comparing it to a human. I always just compare it to if it's right or wrong. But I make more mistakes than I make successes, and I think that anyone who works in any kind of tech field has definitely felt the same way.
Yeah.
You gotta run a code 50 times with an error before it runs one time perfectly clean. So I like the way that you've articulated that.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, well, there's going to be a lot more AI talks at ClueCon, our developer conference coming up, as well as just different innovations within the telecom industry in general. And I'll be giving a talk alongside with Luca. And August 14th through 17th, you can find the dates. Go to cluecon.com. Follow us on all the social medias with the Free Switch community. Stay up to date on all the AI stuff. Brian, any final thoughts before we wrap this up?
Just everything's in the description below. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe.
Fantastic. Well, thanks so much, Brian. I appreciate your insights and everything you've offered to us today.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.